Hi, it's Daniel, and I'm going to show you why staying at one of the Disneyland Paris on-site properties is worth it because you get your early morning access. Let's show you how much we can get done in that first hour the park is open. The park today in mid-June opens at 9:30 a.m., so our early morning access gets us entry at 8:30 a.m. So we're gonna head in and see how much we can do. We left our hotel about 8:05, 8:08, somewhere around there, and we can get in starting at 8:30. So we've made it pretty much up to the Disneyland Park entrance. So now all we need to do is find the line for guests who have early morning access, get in line, wait for them to open the gates, and then we can hustle off to whatever we wanna do first. If you're queuing up for regular entry, you can do so at the center. Otherwise, at least for this day, they're directing all guests with hotel early access to the far left of the Disneyland Hotel to go in through that entrance. So here we are. It is 8:29 and 30 seconds according to my watch. So it's supposed to open in 30 seconds, and this is how busy it is. So this is not bad at all. These are basically all the guests that are going to be in the park right now at park opening for hotel guests. If you want to see what rides are actually open during your early morning hour visit, it updates every morning. So to do that, open the Disneyland Paris app, as you can see here. Click on Map at the bottom. And when you do that, you can just go to the different rides, and if you click on them, so like here's the Enchanted Passages of Aladdin, it'll show you the hours there in the center that it's open. So this isn't a ride, this is just a walkthrough. But you can see that it opens at 9:30. If you go back and go to something like Peter Pan over here, and then click on it in the center, you'll see that it shows it's open from 8:30 till 10 o'clock at night. So that means that that one is open during early magic hour, as opposed to, for example, here the Snow White attraction doesn't open until 9:30. So during early morning hour, not everything is open, but you do have your pick of different attractions. Usually it's the big ones and a few of the smaller ones. Walt Disney Studios Park has a lot less options available, but Disneyland Park seems to be all the big ones. We just scanned in at 8:38 a.m. into the park. It took a few minutes to get through all the guests in front of us in the line, but that's all right. And now we are making our way down Main Street. We're going to go to Discoveryland on Hyperspace Mountain first. That's one of the more popular attractions here inside of this park, and a great option for your first ride of the day during early morning hour. And of course, one of the great things about visiting any Disney park is seeing their castle. So here is a great step onto the main part of Main Street where we can see Disneyland Paris' Sleeping Beauty Castle, which is probably, in my opinion, the most beautiful Disney castle in all of the Disneyland theme parks. And as we head on over, Tigger is coming out. He's going to, I'm not sure where. He's just frolicking around over there, and tons of guests are running up to say hi. And down here you can find Pluto. Not all attractions are open during early morning hours here at Disneyland Paris, but some of them that are the Orbitron and Hyperspace Mountain and Buzz Lightyear Astro Blast here in Discoveryland. But as I said, we're going to Hyperspace Mountain, which is right here. We're getting in line at 8:44, and we should be off pretty quickly. As we're walking through the queue, you can hear the trains going above or below or both of us. So we're like walking through the ride area right now and having all sorts of rumbling and roller coaster noises going on both sides of us and above us. It's 8:47. We're walking down the last staircase to board our vehicle. So we'll see you when we're off the ride. That was a fun first ride. It's now 8:55, so we still got 35 minutes left of the early morning hour. But I will say that even when that ends, it's going to take a few minutes for all the other guests to enter the park. So we kind of have a few bonus minutes on top of that before anyone else really can get on anything. So I think we are now going to make our way towards Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And that's another ride that tends to get longer lines. And we'll try and do that right now. If rides aren't your only priority, then coming in during this early morning hour is another great opportunity to get some great shots of yourself or your family in front of the castle with little to no obstructions from other guests. We have journeyed from Discoveryland through the central hub of Main Street and are now entering Frontierland. Here we are at 9:02 entering the Big Thunder queue. Here we are, 9:07. We just boarded the ride. After a brief deliberation, we have decided to go on Big Thunder again. So it is now 9:21. So this will probably be our last thing that we do before the early morning hour officially ends. It's 9:28 and here comes our train. We've boarded at 9:29. We just got off Big Thunder. It is 9:34, so the morning hour is officially over. But I would say it was a success. I know it seems like we only went on 3 rides, and that's true. We did only go on 3 rides, but we weren't the most efficient that we could have been. There's certainly more that we could have gone on. If Peter Pan is a must for you, I definitely suggest doing that first. That seemed to be the only attraction that really got a line during this hour period. Everything else seemed to stay pretty short. But otherwise, we're going to continue our day. The line should still be short for the next 30 to 45 minutes at least. So we're going to go on something else and enjoy the rest of our day. We're going to fast forward to tomorrow and show you what another day of early morning hour looks like here at Disneyland Paris. Good morning, welcome back. It is 8:30 on our second morning of our stay, and we are headed to Walt Disney Studios Park to check out early morning there. So we should be able to walk more or less right in with minimal wait. There are some other guests in line in front of us. I can see we're approaching it right now. It's raining, so I don't know what that does to the crowds, but we're gonna try and go on Crush's Coaster first. That is probably the ride that consistently has the longest line here at the Disneyland Paris Resort. So we're gonna go ahead and get in line for that, let you know what time we get in line, and let you know what time we board. It's 8:35, we just scanned in, and we're going to Crush's Coaster. That's where everyone is going. So we'll see how long the line is. Hopefully not too bad. I'm not sure what we're gonna do afterwards. There's only 5 rides open right now during the early morning hours. It's the Crush's Coaster, the Ratatouille ride, the Tower of Terror, and the Spider-Man Web Adventure, and the, I can't pronounce it, but the car road rally ride. So Avengers Flight Force isn't open, so that's another one we would wanna go on during this hour, but we will see where we end up. We're getting into the queue. It lists a 15-minute wait, which is much better than it is normally. I haven't seen it less than 45 minutes any of the trips we've been here, or any of the time during this trip that we've been here. As we were standing waiting to go through all the switchbacks, it went up to 30 minutes in wait. We got in line about 8:35. It said 15. When we finally walked under the actual ride wait time, it had gone up to 30 minutes from 15 when we first got into the queue. But we've been moving the whole time. We just stopped. I'd say we probably have about 15 minutes left, give or take. So this is still, I think, a good choice. And we're excited to get on this first thing and see what else we can get done during this morning hour. We just boarded 9:07. So we just got off of Crush's Coaster, and it's a very fun ride. It's probably the best ride here, and it's, I think, the only ride like it at any Disney park. I would say it's worth the wait, but it also may be worth it if you really want to do it and don't want to wait in a long line. It might be worth paying for the premier access so you don't have to wait as long, but it's such a fun ride. It's totally worth it. It's 9:11 in the morning, and I think I'm going to make my way to Tower of Terror. That's what I'd like to do next, and I think I'm the only person in my group that's going to ride it. So let's go head over there. Here I go walking up to the Tower of Terror. It lists a 5-minute wait, and it is 9:14 right now.
Vous ouvrez cette porte avec la clé de l'imagination. Au-delà, c'est une autre dimension.
It is 9:24. I'm now getting into the elevator in just a second. So really no wait other than for the elevator to open up and for them to put us on 5th row. So this ride not as popular as Crush's Coaster. I just got off the ride at 9:31, and the rest of my group went on the Spider-Man Web Adventure ride, and it sounds like they just boarded a second ago. So that's all we were able to get done during the morning hour. But again, that Crush's Coaster, we only waited 30 minutes, and that line consistently throughout the day is 45 minutes, sometimes even 70 minutes. So I still think we made the right choice. And now that it's just 9:30, Avengers Flight Force just opened, so we're gonna go ahead and do that, and that should have a minimal wait, and that should round out basically the end of the morning hour before it starts getting a little more crowded. Just so you can see, we're getting in line at 9:39 and it shows a 5-minute wait. So this is good timing for this ride. We're gonna do this again tomorrow where we go to the early morning hour at Disneyland Park. So come and join us. We'll fast forward to that right now. Good morning. It's our third morning of early morning entry here at Disneyland Paris. And we are making our way to Disneyland Park. We're gonna see if we can do Peter Pan, Big Thunder, the Orbitron, and Hyperspace Mountain all in this hour. We think that's doable, but Peter Pan is definitely the one you want to do first, based on our last couple of days of looking at everything. If you are planning on really making the most of your hour and you don't want to have to wait for that one because that gets long quick, just like Crush's Coaster did yesterday. Again, as a reminder, you need to keep left if you are entitled to the early morning hour. That is the only set of gates that will be open for you. At least that's how it is now for the early morning hour. Guests who get in at regular park opening time can still line up at the middle, but they won't be allowed in until the park opens a little bit later. It is 8:19 right now, so we're a little earlier today than we have been the last couple of mornings, and there are much less guests here, so you can see we're going to be among the first to get in today. We've got a few more minutes to go, and then we'll be inside, and we will walk as quickly and safely as we can to the Peter Pan ride. Here we go. It's 8:33, so it took a couple minutes to get in, and now we are walking to Main Street to go to Peter Pan. There are also some characters out. You can see Winnie the Pooh always over here in the corner. So this is also a great time to do that if you wish. Or if you want to see some of the meet and greets that get longer, like the princesses or Mickey Mouse, you can do that by getting in line closer to 9:30 when that opens, and hopefully be among the first guests to see them and not have to wait several hours. It's 8:36 and we have made it to the castle. Obviously it takes a few minutes to walk to where you're going, but here we go through the castle. As you can see walking over here, so Snow White is not open. The Pinocchio attraction also seems to be closed for now. Dumbo looks like it is open. I see guests getting onto their elephants. So we've made it here about as quickly as we can without sprinting. It is 8:40. We're getting in line for Peter Pan. It is showing that it has a 5-minute wait time. We should pretty much walk right onto it. They're forcing everyone to walk through all of the switchbacks, but the line is probably pretty short. I think we're just going to be walking, but I don't think we're really going to be waiting. And where we finally stopped moving, you can see that there's only maybe 3 or 4 groups in front of us before we board. So this is about as close to a walk-on as you can get. We accomplished today what we didn't get done yesterday on Crush's Coaster. Here we go boarding at 8:42. It's 8:46. We made it off of the ride. That was great timing. We are now heading our way towards Big Thunder Mountain. And yeah, getting here a few minutes earlier than we did the last couple of days definitely paid off for that ride, getting right on it as soon as we got there with no wait. We admittedly don't know our way around this park very well, so we're not sure we're taking the most efficient path to get to Big Thunder Mountain. We're walking back through Fantasyland, and we're like the only guests walking this direction. Everyone else is going towards Peter Pan, and we've already done Peter Pan and are going the other way. Just to show you how great our timing was for that, if we go here back to Peter Pan and give it a click, you can already see it's at a 15-minute wait. So we saved at least 10 minutes by being among the first guests to go on the ride. Here we go entering Frontierland on our way to Big Thunder Mountain. It's 8:57. We're getting in line now for Big Thunder Mountain, and it shows a 5-minute wait. Hopefully it's even less than that. We've just boarded at 9:03. It's now 9:08 and we are off of Big Thunder Mountain. I think we're gonna head to the Orbitron next. Again, here's another check to see just how uncrowded in general it is here, taking pictures in front of the castle. And there are actually some PhotoPass photographers here able to take your pictures for you if you'd like. It's 9:13 and we are now getting in line for the Orbitron. It shows a 5-minute wait on the app. I don't see a wait time here at the ride, but hopefully we'll get on the next liftoff. And as we walked by, Autopia actually is open during the early morning hours, so I'm not sure why I thought it was closed. I don't think it was open the other day when we were here, but I'm not sure if they change the rides up from day to day or what, but we can add that into the mix as part of our before 9:30. So we'll see after this if we decide to do Hyperspace Mountain or if we want to do Autopia. It's 9:18 and we have just boarded our rocket. And away we go. It's 9:22. We just got in line for Autopia. It lists a 15-minute wait. This attraction is a much less efficient attraction than Hyperspace Mountain. So we feel this is a good choice now because this line isn't going to get shorter than the 15 minutes it currently is. Hyperspace Mountain may get a little bit longer, but it shouldn't get a lot longer than what it is currently. It's only a 5-minute wait right now, and it should stay that way for another 20 to 30 minutes just because guests still have to get into the park at 9:30 when it officially opens. So that's how we're going to round out our morning hour today. We're going to do Autopia, and then morning hour will be over, but we'll go on Hyperspace Mountain, and then we'll call it a success and wrap everything up. So we'll check in with you on Autopia. It's 9:37. We just took off on the Autopia. We just got off Autopia. It's now 9:45, so early morning hour is officially over, but Hyperspace Mountain shows a 5-minute wait, and we're getting in line for it now. It's 9:48. We have made it to here, so we basically walked all the way up to this point, even though the park has technically been open for about 15 minutes. We are boarding at 9:50. We just got off Hyperspace Mountain at 9:55, and as you saw, we didn't have to wait for that at all, even though we didn't get in line till 9:45. So hopefully we've shown you that the early magic hour or the early morning hour that you get by staying at the hotels is 100% worth it. It provides a huge value and eliminates the need to spend extra money on Disney Premier Access, which that can add up very quickly if you're using that to go on individual rides with a minimal wait. If you're not familiar with what that is, that's like the equivalent of the Fast Pass system or the Lightning Lane system, depending on what park or parks you're used to. But not having to use that and being able to get on so many of the big attractions is really a huge money saver and time saver at the Disneyland Paris Resort. We didn't do the most efficient job the first 2 days, but today I think we really knocked it out of the park and did about as efficient of a job as you could with everything here. So we're very happy with how this went. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. We'll do our best to answer them. We're by no means experts on Disneyland Paris, but we are Disneyland California experts, and we feel like we are pretty well versed in Disney theme parks in general, so we'll do our best to help you out. If you found this video helpful, and I hope you did, please give it a big thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe for even more magical content, and I hope I put you in a magical mood.